morning. Hope everybody's doing wonderful. It is Tuesday the 26th. We're off for a good Tuesday morning. So, not an administrator officially yet, but you don't want to wait until you get to a space to start thinking like you're at that space. Go ahead and start taking on that mindset, so that way when you get there, you're already in this space. Now, you still have to keep the mindset for the space that you're in, but you also have to have some forward planning. So one thing that I've noticed that most people, or should I say most teachers, struggle with is classroom management. So when we talk about classroom management, how do we manage a class in a pandemic, post-pandemic setting? Very similarly to how we manage classrooms before a pandemic setting. Now, if you're virtual, this isn't the conversation for you. But if you're face-to-face or even hybrid, this is definitely a conversation for teachers as well as principals. Now, I'm on my commute to work, so that's why I'm not totally engaged as far as looking at you. But we're still here together, and you guys understand where I'm coming from. So, if we're going to ask that teachers follow the discipline matrix, and usually on most discipline matrices, there's a space for the teacher to call the parent regarding behavior. If we're going to ask teachers to do something, we have to give them training on how to do it, because my principle says the how is more important than the why. How you call and talk to a parent is more important than why you call and talk to a parent. And I think that that's very, very, very important to keep into perspective. So, why do most teachers have an issue with calling parents? I'm going to ask that question again. Notice how I gave you think time. Why do most teachers have a problem with calling parents? It's my experience that teachers have a problem with calling parents about behavior issues because they haven't been taught how to de-escalate. Most teachers are taught how to break down data, how to break down learning standards, and how to do transitions within the classroom, but they haven't really been taught, or should I say, we haven't really been taught de-escalation tactics with other adults. Most teachers enjoy teaching kids, but they don't really like adults much, which is why you see most teachers that don't want to go into administration, because they have to deal with adults and parents who are adults. So they just like having kids or dealing with the kids because they still have a level of dominance. So if we're asking teachers to call parents, and we know that some teachers are egotistical and they're going to call the parent and tell the parent what the kid did as if the teacher is a police officer. I'm just here to tell you that your kid did this, which then creates pushback and more work for the administrator. Or some teachers are just really not egotistical, and so some parents will take offense to the way that the teacher displayed the message. And the teacher's not trying to, the teacher just doesn't think on the other person's side. Like, we're a teacher, we're talking teacher terms. You gotta stop and think, how is the parent going to receive this? So there are certain things that teachers can learn. Certain teacher hacks, especially with parent phone calls. One, don't call the parent and be accusatory. Don't call the parent and say, this is Mr. Jones from the school, and I just want to let you know that your kid did this. Because now it puts the parent on the spot. It catches the parent off guard. They become blindsided. Nobody wants to be blindsided with anything, especially anything negative. So now you've just blindsided that parent and said something negative about the child or the child's behavior. So to be blindsided and then something negative about someone that you know that parents would have high emotions for is probably not the smartest look. What you should probably say is, well, I call it spinning. You're telling the parent that there's an issue, but you're not making the child the issue. You're also not accusing the parent or making the parent feel as though they've done something wrong in their parenting. Now, here's something that I'm going to say from my teacher buddies. As a teacher who's currently in the classroom with you, I know. I know what I just said. And sometimes it is a problem with the parenting. We're going to call a spade a spade. We're going to, big six to the board, Jack. But when you're dealing with these parents, the majority of the parents are women. The majority of the parents that you're going to contact about the kids are going to be women. So knowing that, why would you make it hard on yourself? When you don't know how to raise your kids, we're not doing that. No. What we are going to do is say, hey, it's Mr. Jones. I'm Carl's math teacher. And I want to let you know that he's doing really, really good. But this last test we took, he kind of dipped down on his score. He got a 92 on that first test, an 87 on that second test, and this time he got a 69. And I just want to know, I want him to be successful because I know he can. Now listen to what I just did. I stated the issue, and then I stated my intention. Here's the issue. The data says 92, 87, 69. That's the issue. Here's my intention. I don't want him. I know he can be successful, and I'm going to help him. The issue is he's starting to go down on his scores. The intention is for me to help him be successful. Then I go into what I think could and or should happen. Would it be okay if I had him the next 2 days during lunchtime? It's not detention, but it's just a way for me to help him get where he needs to go, so that way later on in the 6 weeks, you're not calling me saying, what's up with my son's grade? Within 90 seconds to 2 minutes, I just stated the intent, the issue, the intention, and the solution that involves me. The issue, the intention, and the solution that involves me. Excuse me. So now mom knows somebody cares, somebody's going to keep you informed, and somebody's going to make sure that the kid, your child, your student, somebody said stop calling them kids, because that's, okay, I got you, wants to make sure that your student gets what they need. Now, you know that the kid is not in trouble. What I didn't tell you is why he got this 69. I'm going to say that again. What I didn't tell you is why the kid got a 69. Because he's starting to get comfortable. As a teacher, I will say, familiarity breeds contempt. So if you stay consistent in your processes, in your day-to-day, everyday processes, be consistent. They're going to get to understanding. They're going to try you at the beginning and see what you're going to do. Be consistent. You're going to have these issues. So, state the issue. State the intention. Here's what's going on. Here's why I'm calling. Here's what's needed. At that point, the parent just make it easy for the parent to just say, yeah, okay, cool. Now, when you get off the phone, the parent's going to play the whole conversation back in their head. And they're going to say, hey, to themselves, the teacher kept me informed. Because one thing parents hate is to not know something about their, if somebody would have called me and let me know, I could have handled that early. And that's what you get a lot of parents, even the parents that you think are the harder parents. If you tell them early and you tell them often, just as reminders, they're going to be on your side. If you let them know that you care about their kids, they're going to be on your side. And then when you already know what you want to happen, how you want it to happen, and you just say, Mom, I just need your permission to have him the next 2 days during lunch. We're going to work on this test where he got this low grade. Make it super easy for the parent to say yes. Cool. But now the parent can say they know. So if later on in the 6 weeks or the grading term, the grades don't come out quite right, you can say, hey, mom and I have been working on this. Now, what I believe is, if you can get the parent on your side early in the school year, then times like March, April, May, you don't even have to worry about the parent being an issue, because the parent already has a relationship with you. They already know that you're gonna call them and let them know. They already know that you're gonna that you care about that kid and you're gonna do some more work or have the appearance of doing more work. It might be something that your school already says that you have to do anyway, but the parent just knows that they have somebody there that's looking out for their child's success and is not trying to get them in trouble. Now, when it comes time for the kid to really have to take a punishment for something, we already know that math is the classroom where he's known to act out, or reading, or whatever. But as a teacher, you have the comfort of knowing that you and the parents have a relationship and that y'all have an understanding of what's best for that kid. Sometimes you'll find out that Mondays just aren't a good day for that kid because they come from joint custody situations. So they having a reset on Monday coming from dad's house or grandma's house or somebody else's house, and so it's just a lot. So don't be upset or frustrated or afraid to have these parent phone calls, but I think that we have to teach each other how to say it, what to say, how to say it, and how to make sure that you get the end result. Go into the parent conference knowing the outcome that you want. Before I pick up this phone, what do I want this parent to agree to? Or to what do I want this parent to agree? Although my English teachers will get on to me about my grammar, never end a sentence with the preposition. I'm a math teacher, but I understand we're going to play by the rules because math is nothing but rules also. So, train your teachers. If you're an administrator who's really good at parent phone calls, record a parent phone call. Record yourself and your body language while you're on a live parent phone call. Don't broadcast it live, but record it. Then play it back so that teachers can see. They can break down. Like if you're an athlete, you watch film. I love watching film as an athlete because it really gets me to understand how to break down the opponent or break down the scheme of the other people. It just helps me break down myself and say, what did I do wrong? How can I get better? So create training videos on how to make a parent phone call. Then when your teachers are making those calls, sit in with them. Hey, I just want to sit in with you and support. That way you can say, hey, this is Mr. Jones. I'm here. Got my assistant principal here with me, but we just want to call and make sure that you understand, blah, 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 blah. You lead it, but now your administrators can see you doing it. That's what I got when I was a newer teacher. Shout out to my assistant principals who held my hand when I made phone calls so that parents wouldn't try to overrun me because I was only 23, 24, younger, much younger than a lot of these parents, some of them, but still needed that. And then support. Sometimes they're going to come up against stuff with certain parents that no matter what they say or do, certain parents are just going to be who they are. And that's when you have to say, okay, I've seen you, I've trained you, I've seen you in action. Now, this is not something that you can deal with, nor is it something that you did wrong. But yeah, we're going to step in here with you and handle this one for you or even with you because you did everything right. Now, when teachers get that type of training, communication, and support, now a teacher can't say that they can't do it. Because sometimes teachers need an individualized education plan for how to do certain things. What are your thoughts? What makes a good parent phone call? Parents, what do you not want to hear? Tell us here the bad things, the bad phone calls that you've gotten and how the teacher was totally out of line. Tell us some good ones too. Make sure you tell us the good ones too. I'm finna get in here. I am about to go in here and get my day started. Everybody be blessed on today. Peace.